Doing business online has become a way of life for consumers. Whether we're ordering food or products to be delivered to our door, reserving a vacation, or getting an education, the success of just about every business depends on providing consumers a great online experience. That's true for government services too, although many government agencies are still struggling to deliver the kind of experience consumers now expect. One way that agencies are trying to improve the user experience for citizens is through the adoption of artificial intelligence and machine learning. The state of Illinois is one of many states that are now using AI and ML to better direct consumers to the government information and services they're looking for, according to Brandon Ragle, who heads the state's Department of Innovation and Technology.
From us, citizen experience really involves meeting citizen needs with a seamless and efficient end-to-end process. And governments aren't always well known for their process. So what we're doing is we're focusing on trying to identify what those solid processes we have that are in place. We're looking at ways that we can streamline those, and then of course put AI in place to help us work through it. One of the places where we've really focused on is putting virtual agents on our heaviest traffic websites and integrating it with our call centers. And the process used to be you might go to a site, look for some information, maybe get a phone number to call, and there was just it was a break. It was a disparate interaction that you'd have with the state. So by using virtual agents, we're able to create more of an omni-channel experience, that end-to-end flow, if you will, to allow the resident to come in self-servicing. It's a way to try to find their answers if they can, or even in some cases, submit information to us. Using AI to help us support this, we've noticed some pretty positive results. One of our use cases of using a virtual agent, we're averaging close to about 140,000 sessions per month and averaging over 90% accuracy rate on those questions. This type of self-servicing really provides the residents with a way to get quicker responses from the state, really leading to a better overall experience for the folks that are trying to help.
AI is an incredible tool for customer intimacy, right? For that constituent, not only to help give them information, right? Or bring your knowledge to them as an agency, but more importantly, to understand who they are, to understand the language they might use, to understand how and what value they see your agency providing them, but really on their terms, right? Not necessarily yours. And so the AI helps listen to that. It's important to know that you're not starting from scratch. There are a ton of amazing AI tools out there, what we might call parsers and other things that can actually help you get started really quickly. You don't necessarily have to build it all in-house. And actually what I recommend is starting with some of those things to get your feet wet. And what's really interesting is as you're getting your feet wet with some partner tools or some easier to use types of things, you often get interesting insights that might help you understand the type of talent or specialist you want to bring into your mix, like a data scientist later, because you really understand what the AI is telling you and how you might want to use the tool further.
By leveraging AI platforms and trying to keep things simple, try not to overcomplicate our efforts, using capabilities and features that are built into those platforms, we found huge success by going that route. As I mentioned earlier, from a citizen experiences was the drive for most, if not all, of our current use cases that we're dealing with. So we've been partnering with third-party providers to really quickly implement virtual agents on that AI platform. Then we can use the platform itself and the capabilities that are built in and really extend them a little bit with some easy to read and expose analytical data and reporting, that then we're using that information to not only measure how we're doing, but to help us to make good decisions on how we go forward.
It takes virtually no time at all to train a model. And more importantly, that model continues to learn the more it's used. And so it takes very little effort to continue to improve on the way a model engages citizens. Actually, AI is revolutionary in its capability of improving how government engages with constituents. And it also improves equity. So if you think about intelligent agents, they can operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Typically, government agencies don't have 24-hour call centers available. So you're expanding access to constituents. Also, think about today the number of languages that governments have to engage with. Intelligent agents now can support up to 150 to 200 languages and do that in real time. If you think about, for example, a single mom who is working an hourly job, she can't always step out and make a phone call during business hours. By using intelligent agents, we're able to provide equitable access to service to citizens, no matter what language they speak or what their working hours or ability to step away from their jobs to engage in a government agency.
Illinois is continuing to implement its AI systems across state government using the groundwork laid out by IT leaders like Ragle.
By standardizing and leveraging on this AI platform, we've really built out a repeatable and scalable framework that is reusable for all our state agencies that we support. I would say that every single agency, I'm not aware of an agency, there's a few, I suppose, that doesn't have some form of online service, right? Everyone is providing something for someone, a business, a resident, someone in need, all of which could use AI to drive conversations. We know that a lot of the sites you go to, you just want a question, you don't know where to get the answer. So we do have really a common set of intense questions that we know we get asked a lot across all our agencies. And we're creating a shared pool of those that then we can leverage across every agency that we bring on board. And honestly, I can't think of a single agency that really wouldn't benefit from the use of an AI chatbot to help out their residents.
What's really exciting is seeing so many agency leaders and program managers really want to meet their customer, to know their customer. And this includes considering, the power of AI for things like inclusion, equity, translation, captioning, transcription. Those are all really critical when you want to be able to know a customer. You have to be able to understand them. They understand you, to speak a language together that's common. And so I think those types of tools are really important to public servant leaders right now. AI is a critical tool when we talk about burnout, right? Public servants are doing so much with less resources and certainly less time than ever before. And so this idea of how they might use AI, to really be able to focus their time on decisions or critical areas where they have to exercise discretion, discernment, and critical thinking, and maybe spend less time on areas that maybe are more mundane or less rewarding, or can maybe be automated a little bit more. And finally, as we're all becoming more in love and addicted to our mobile devices, and they're a critical part of our lives, I think many agencies are pioneering things that not only their customers can do via AI and their mobile devices, but even their staff, their field agents, et cetera, can use AI to help really advance their mission in the palm of their hand.
Google brings natural language processing to the table in revolutionary ways. Our ability to engage in that human-like conversation, to be able to engage not only in English, but more than 150 other languages, and to be able to constantly learn. So it doesn't require a human to constantly go in and tweak standard responses. The intelligent agent continues to learn. So in fact, the more it's used, the better it gets.
The power of AI in government equips government agencies to better serve their constituents. As we learned from Illinois government executive Brandon Ragle, implementing the next AI tools begins with asking, where are those missed opportunities to connect with our communities?